brands bid $2.50 on the same keyword in the same auction yesterday. One paid $1.80 per click and the other paid $2.40, 60 cents between them, and neither of them touched the bid setting to make it happen. Apply that gap to your own account. 100,000 clicks a year is $60,000 disappearing into CPCs that didn't need to be that high. We manage ads for brands spending between $30,000 and $550,000 a month on ads. And this gap shows up in nearly every audit we run. I'm going to walk you through how the Amazon auction actually works, why click-through rate is the number that decides what you pay, and the 3 things that move CTR fastest at the search results level. So 5 years ago, every conversation about Amazon ads started with the same question: how high can we afford to bid? The whole thing assumed paying more got you more and paying less got you less, and that's not how the auction works. Your bid is the maximum you're willing to pay, but the price you actually pay per click is set by the auction logic, which weighs your bid against how relevant your listing is to the search. The strongest signal of relevance is the click-through rate. If shoppers click your ad, Amazon reads that as proof your listing matches the search, and if they scroll past, Amazon reads it as a mismatch. Here's why that matters financially. Amazon doesn't make money when your ad appears, only when someone clicks it. So the auction picks the ad most likely to make them money, which is your bid multiplied by your click-through rate. A $2 bid at 3% click-through rate earns Amazon more than a $3 bid at 1.5%. So the dollar advertiser wins the spot and pays a price set by how often shoppers actually click them, not by what they offered to pay. The reverse is just as true. A weak CTR pushes your CPCs up at the same bid, which means fewer clicks per dollar of budget, slower sales velocity, weaker organic rank, and more reliance on paid traffic that's already getting more expensive. Sellers in this scenario also watch ACoS climb, and then they decide to lower bids to compensate, which then kills impression share, which drops clicks even further, and now they're managing bids on a treadmill while the real lever, click-through rate, is sitting there untouched. Your bid is the input, your cost per click is what you actually pay, and CTR is the multiplier sitting between those two, deciding whether your account runs cheap or expensive across every campaign you're spending on. So if you haven't done so already, make sure you subscribe. I cover topics like this every week. Now, if CTR decides what you pay, the question becomes which levers actually move CTR at the search result level. 3 of them really matter, and I've put them in order of impact. So the first is your main image. Shoppers make a click or scroll decision in under half a second on a thumbnail roughly the size of a postage stamp. And with mobile now over 70% of the Amazon traffic, the small details on your image disappear at the resolution. What works is product recognizability, click pack size, and visual difference from the listing sitting next to you in the grid. And very few brands have actually tested their main image against their competitors ranking right beside them. The second is price positioning. A product priced 15 to 20% below what's visible on the same search page often gets a much higher click-through rate because the shopper isn't comparing you to your old price. They're comparing you to whatever right next to you on the screen is charging. If you can't move price itself, you can move how the price looks. So you can have some coupons, subscribe and save badges, bundle pricing, all of which display at the search result level and shifts the comparison in your favor. Now the third is social proof. Your star rating, your review count, both of which show up in search results before anyone reads your title or your bullets. And something you should consider is Amazon rounds star ratings on the search page. The cliff sits at 4.25. A product rated 4.26 shows as 4.5 stars across every search results on the platform. And a product rated 4.24 shows up as 4. Almost identical underneath, completely different on the screen. Listings showing 4.5 stars or higher get clicked far more than listings showing 4. Now, all 3 of these are testable. Manage your experiments inside Seller Central handles main image splits. Price positioning is a margin decision you can run for 14 days and measure. And star rating is the slowest of the 3 to move because it depends on review velocity and product experience. But it's also the highest leverage one you have, because every keyword you appear on inherits the lift. So when two brands bid the same on Amazon and one of them pays noticeably less, the gap isn't about what they're willing to spend, it's about how relevant their listing is to the shopper looking at it, and CTR controls that. This same rule, listing with stronger context earns cheaper clicks, is exactly what's driving a new ad format Amazon's auto-enrolled every sponsored products and sponsored brand campaigns into on March the 25th. There's no opt-in for this, and the charges have been hitting your account for over a month. Hidden in reports, very few sellers have opened. Now, the previous video walks through what it is, where the spend is hiding, and why your listing is now right in your ad copy, whether you wrote it or not. The link is somewhere above. I'll catch you there.